Okay, so good afternoon. My name is Paul Quarter. I'm with Perfect Golf Event. Today's kind of a unique kind of webinar. If you've been to my previous webinars, we teach a lot of subjects like how to sell sponsorships and things like that. They're all important. Today, we're going to kind of focus on some of the different contests and activities that you can run to raise additional funds for your event. And that's kind of important because when you're running a charity golf event, obviously you make some money when the golfers pay to play. But at the same time, you raise money from your sponsors. But there's lots of other opportunities to raise money, especially if you're doing it for a good cause. So it's nothing to be shy about. And so we're going to kind of go through sequentially before your event and then through some key activities you can do both during your event and right after the event. So hopefully you'll find it useful and good information. For a couple of housekeeping notes as you sign on, don't worry about copying everything down. We go a little quickly because everybody's got business to work on and they have a short attention span like I do. But I'll be glad to send you a set of the slides so you'll have everything as a reference point. So let's walk through what we're going to accomplish and then we'll get started. So quick to review. First of all, when you're having an event, obviously your objectives are to give the players a great experience. You want to provide the sponsors with recognition, the opportunity to generate new business, and you want to raise money. So this is really important. And remember this because it comes up a lot when I'm talking to organizers. And they'll say, well, the people are paying money to participate in my event, so I'm not sure that I want to charge them for additional things. And I always say, look, 75% of the people playing at a charity golf event are guests. And so they expect to support it. They haven't paid anything because they've been invited by someone who's purchased a foursome. I play in a number of charity golf events myself, and I always bring cash with me because I'm expecting to get into things that are fun, and I don't mind doing it if it's for a good cause. So you don't need to be shy on that. And again, I see some people came in a little late. Don't worry about copying everything down. I'll be glad to send you the slides. In traditional event, you have revenue from your player registrations, you have revenue from your sponsorships. In creative events, you not only have those two activities, but you're looking for things from pre-event contests and activities, some of the on-course contests and activities, donation asks, online auction and raffle, things that you can raise a different amount of money from. Now, I manage about 12 events, and of course, the Perfect Golf Event, we work with thousands of events, which is how we've got some of the ideas we're presenting today. One thing I would tell people, look, when you're working, make sure that for your event, you've sort of set up a fundraising agenda, meaning you've taken a look and said, what am I doing before my event? What am I doing right before? And I mean, when I say before your event, meaning on the website and things, in the weeks leading up to your event. I'll give you some examples. What's happening right before tee off? What's happening on the course so the golfers remember your event and will have a great time out there and say, hey, that was really fun. And then what's happening right after your event. So you want to have an agenda that says, hey, here's what's happening, but here's different opportunities that we might have to raise additional money during the day. Now, a couple things I want to go through. So the first thing I'm going to address is things you can do prior to your event on your website to generate some additional revenue and interest. So if you haven't done an online auction, that's really a good way to start. You can do online auctions to create pre-event excitement and revenue. And also it generates website traffic, especially if you have an online auction where you're adding some new items to it. So people will come back to your website even after they've registered for the event, which helps because it gives sponsors more satisfaction that you're getting web traffic. So when you have an online auction, you want to be able to upload your auction items. We have an auction package I'll talk about in a second that allows you to select from some no-risk items that you can put up, and if they sell, that's fine. If they don't sell, there's no cost. People can bid online. You can track progress in real time on each item, so you see who's bidding or whatever. And the nice part is that you can have set your bid amounts, you put up photos, categories, featured items, and the winners can pay online, so you don't have to chase them around. And the one we're working with is you can upload auction items. So you get a lot of things that are donated to your thing. So why not put them up on an online auction? And some of you may schedule your auctions to be held the day of your event. Well, with some of the COVID restrictions, there's some limitations there about how jammed together people can be on a silent auction. So put all that stuff up online, and then you can pick some other things that you might want to put in the auction It said these are no risk items, and if they sell, you make money off them. If they don't sell, you have no risk on it. But it gives your auction some additional content. So our site's going to launch an auction in February, and there's other auction sites out there, so you're free to search around, obviously. But if you're interested in ours, just send us a note, and we'll get you set up when February comes, so you can take a look at the auction site. So that's one of the first things you want to do, is think about an auction on your website that players and anybody who visits your website can say, I'm registered for the event, but at the same time, hey, I see you've got an auction, and it gives you an ability to raise some more money prior to your event. Now, a lot of events have had raffles, and so that's become a big part. A lot of people will do a 50-50 raffle, or they have some donated items put together as a raffle. We've put together a new online raffle package, which I think you'll find interesting. It's called Golf Surprise, and it's a little different kind of raffle because it doesn't involve paper raffle tickets. Again, with COVID, you don't want people handling a bunch of stuff and handling messy transactions, because this can all be done both online and then using mobile phones. But basically, with Golf Surprise, it allows you to raise some additional money, and I'll show you. You can get information from the players with a survey feature, and the players have a lot of fun with it. Kind of helps them forget maybe some of the bad shots they've had on the golf course. So here's how it works. You can include the players would pay a fee to get into the Golf Surprise raffle, just like they would a raffle. You can include it in your registration fee, or you can charge an amount. You capture the mobile numbers of everybody who's in. So let's say it's going to be $10 to get into it. You get their mobile numbers. I'll show you how those are used in a second. You have a survey feature, which I'll show you, and a text messaging feature. And you can raise more money because players are attracted to it. And I'll show you how you can sell these things even in advance of your event. Golf Surprise is really easy to use. You log onto your account, and then all you're going to do is you're going to put in the mobile numbers of anybody who's entered into the raffle. They don't have to have an app on their phone. That's what I don't like downloading new apps, but you're going to have their mobile numbers. Then let's say, for example, that you've charged $20 to get into it. You have 100 golfers, and you say, okay, that's $2,000, and I'm going to spread out in the raffle. I'm going to give $1,500 out in cash prizes to everybody who entered into Golf Surprise. You're going to keep $500 for your charity, which is natural, and then you're going to spread this out. So you're going to put in, I want $1,500 to go out to the winners. So you enter the prize pool, you click on spread, looks good, and that'll generate the winners and the amounts that they're going to win. You'll see that. They're not going to see that until you launch the auction. And I'll tell you why you want to see that in a minute. Then you say, okay, I want the the raffle results to go out. So let's say you're teeing off at 1 o'clock, and you set it so I want the raffle results to go out, at 4:30, right as they're finishing up the golf, or you can launch it anytime you want to launch it, but you set the time. What's really fun about it is, before the golfers see if they've won or not, and it's all done randomly, they can answer some questions that you create. You can have custom questions. What was your score? Rate the overall event. How well do you know the mission of our nonprofit? How likely are you to support the event? And it's just numeric answers. So how well do you know the mission of our event, our nonprofit, on a scale of 1 to 5? How likely are you to support our sponsors on a scale of 1 to 5? That gives you information that you can use and also use to promote your event the following year. So that's part of the package. So golfers would get that. They answer a couple quick questions, and then they see if they won any prizes or not. That's helpful, again, because it gives you the information you can use to provide feedback to the golf course, and also for you to understand, if anything, how the event went, how people rate the event, or if they're coming back next year. And then one of the nice features of Golf Surprise is, once the mobile numbers are in there, you can communicate with them, anybody out on the course at any time, using Golf Surprise. So if you want to say to people, hey, anytime, remind the tee time's at 8 o'clock, see you there. Putting contest. And this is because a lot of people have asked us to have sort of an online chat feature that they could use during their event. And so you could send a text out to everybody. The putting contest is on the practice green. Win $10,000 on hole number 6, thanks to our sponsor, Baker Financial. Bring your scorecards in. You have all that. And then you can get marketing materials to help you market it as you go along. So Golf Surprise is a new online raffle package. It's really been effective so far. We've tested it in a couple of events. So if you're interested, just let us know. Another fundraising area that people come up with is what I call a Firetruck ball drop. Now, you've heard of helicopter ball drops before, and I've done a number of those. I've been doing this 16 years, so I've done a number of helicopter ball drops, but I've kind of dropped those, and the reason is I found that the helicopters were kind of iffy, meaning weather could affect it. It's hard to time the helicopter to come in. And so we've started to do, we had some old helicopters to show you some of the marketing materials, but we started to do fire truck ball drops. And you could hold this instead of a helicopter. It's easier to manage. And if you haven't done a ball drop before, individual golf balls are sold to the golfers and to supporters. Anybody can enter. The golf balls are numbered, and then the fire trucks they just drop the golf balls to a pin that's been put on the fairway or somewhere. They don't drop it on the green because they'll drop it as a green. And then whatever number of golf balls closest to the pin will win the prize. We just did an event in Jacksonville, Florida, where they raised a net of $20,000 by selling that number. I sold so many golf balls, they raised $20,000. And here's how it kind of works for the financial standpoint. So if you want to do a fire truck ball drop, and we're not really involved in this. I'm just giving you ideas to help you raise money. That's what we're trying to do here. So the ones that I have, we give $500 to the local fire department to bring the truck out, which they like because a lot of them are volunteer fire. That's money they can use for their firehouse. You sell the golf balls, so you could sell them for $25 each or $50 each, 3 for $100. You have a cash prize. You sell it as a sponsorship. It's a great sponsorship because they get lots of visibility with signage right there when the balls are being dropped. And you can make, conservatively $3,700. On average, you'll make $72. And again, the one in Jacksonville just raised $20,000. It's an easy thing to add to your event. And when people come up and buy the golf balls, there's a chart we have for you that you can have this big. It's an oversized chart. So somebody comes in, they buy a golf ball, they pick it out, the number of golf ball out, and they've got ball number 21. You just write their name under number 21 or under number 70, and you'll have as many of these. And I have these come in sets of 150. And one of my events, I sold 450 golf balls. So we had 3 of these. So when the balls come in, whatever the winning golf ball, say it's golf ball number 80, you just look at the name underneath that person wins the prize. And then you keep the balance of the fund. So it's a really nice thing, and it's also fun because non-golf people not playing, like volunteers and just supporters and community members, they don't have to be playing golf to get into the golf ball drop. So consider it's a nice way to add additional funds to your event, but trust me, people will talk about it. A putting contest. Obviously, you've had golf events before. Hope you've had a putting contest. If you haven't, it's a natural thing to do. It's a great fundraiser. You do it before the event starts so people can watch. It gives them something to do rather than just wandering around staring before tee off. And it's also a great sponsorship opportunity. Like for my events, I let the sponsor help me run the putting contest, and that sponsors love that because they get there on the green. If they're insurance agent or a stockbroker, they get to introduce themselves to all the participants, say, I'm sponsoring the event, thanks for playing, and then people take their putts. If it's usually held ahead of time. Most times you'll sell the putts 2 for $25 or something like that. And you can have 2 types of putting contests. You can have an insured putting contest, where someone will say, when you get down to the end, the winner will get a chance to take one more putt, and it's insured. If they make the putt, they will win the prize, and it's insured. So it could be 2 tickets to the Masters, or cash prize or whatever. We do a lot of $10,000 and $5,000 putting contests, but if the putt's made, then we'll pay the prize. Or you can have a guaranteed winner contest where it could be 2 tickets to a sporting event package that we have. And that way the winner just gets that. You have the certificate to give them. You don't have to do a final putt. And again, insured ones could be like a chance to go to the PGA Championship, or this was somebody who did it in 2019, but you do it to the 2021 or 22, probably 2022 Masters, since they're limiting tickets. The good news is, if somebody wins these things, they don't expire. So as soon as COVID is over, they can go to whatever Masters it still is taking all the patrons. Or again, guaranteed winner will give you the prize certificate so you can have that. Some events will do a chipping contest, and the chipping contest is run just like a putting contest, except they're chipping off the green. You raise money for an entry fee. I'll put it on a super ticket, and I'll show you the super ticket in a second. It's another great sponsorship opportunity. And you have two types of ones we run, and you can run any way you want. Some will do a 50-50 chipping contest, meaning everybody pays a fee and the winner gets half the prize money. Or you can do this one for us, which is the winner gets a $250 gift card to Signature Golfwear, and you can charge the entry fee, and then we'll give a $25 gift card to everybody who enters your chipping contest. So we have one with a $250 prize, and we have one with a $500 prize. So if you want to add a chipping contest, just get a hold of us and we'll tell you how to run that. Mulligans, again, if you're a golfer, you understand what a mulligan is. If you're not, mulligans are always a nice way to make additional funds at an event. And basically, a mulligan is just it gives the golfers a chance to replace a shot that when they hit it in the water or the woods, they get to take another shot. And this is just found money for anybody who's having a golf event. It gives the golfer a second chance shot. It can increase your revenue with no cost. And so most events will sell mulligans at $10 each, a maximum of 2 of them per golfer. But if you have 100 golfers at $20, it's $2,000, and it doesn't cost you anything except a sign to say, hey, go on, do you want some mulligans? And, people will buy them because they do want to have some replacement shots during the event. And again, we're going to go through a lot of things here. You're going to have to kind of pick and choose things that you think would apply to your event. There's more good stuff coming. And I'll be glad, again, to send you all the slides so you'll have them to reference with your committee. Now, when I'm doing my events, what I do is I have what's called a super ticket, and then I put everything onto a super ticket so they're not going down the line and saying, okay, give me $10 for the putting contest or $10 for mulligans or $20 for the chipping contest. I put them all onto a super ticket. And here's examples of some events that are using super tickets with us already, where they've said, look, we're going to have a putting contest for the 2022 Masters, since they think it's going to be restricted in 2021. We're going to have a raffle to take $1 million shot and $20 in additional raffle tickets. So it's one transaction. And you can customize your super ticket. Here's an event that charged $50 and the person got into all these different contests. So it's one transaction, and you can put whatever you want into the super ticket. But again, you raise more money and you make it one simple transaction. So you're not having to say $10 here, $10 here, or whatever. And you can sell these on your website prior to the event as well. Here's another example of a super ticket with a chance to putt to go to Pebble Beach, 2 mulligans, and a chance to take $1 million shot. So anything can be customized, and all these are sold as sponsorships that'll cover a lot of the costs of your contests. And then we've just put out, and this is something I'm working on an event here in St. Louis, and we just put together what's called the Ultimate Super Ticket. And in this case, they're going to buy for $100 a super ticket that gets them into the putting contest, a chipping contest. They get into the golf ball drop. They go into the golf surprise raffle that we talked about. They get 2 mulligans, and they get 20% discount in the pro shop. And so they're going to have, and this is a sponsored event, and then we're going to pick one person to take a shot for $1 million. This is going to be really popular. We did it last year, and almost every golfer bought the super ticket for $100. It was for a good cause, and it got them into all those contests. So if you're looking for ways to make money, you can customize that to fit what you want to do with your event, but I think it simplifies it. And again, you can send it on your website. When people ask me about $1 million shots, which I use for a lot of my events as a raffle item, a golfer gets a chance just to take a shot for $1 million. It's an insured thing. We'll provide the insurance. And if the person makes the shot, then we'll pay for the $1 million prize. Here's one that was done for Castle Rock Christian Academy, where they advertised and said, hey, come on out to our event. Somebody's going to take a shot for $1 million. It makes your event interesting, and people are attracted to it. Now, this one's a newer concept that we tested last year. And if there's anything I want you to consider, this is really a good opportunity to raise some money. It's called the Golden Ticket. And the Golden Ticket is something where the golfers pay for upgraded hole-in-one contests. And you raise more money. And last year, the events that used it raised another $9,000. And I'll explain to you how it worked. But it's easy, no stress, and a very natural way to make some additional money. And for some events, $9,000 is a pretty significant increase in their net revenue. Here's how it works. In your golf, when they sign up to your event, they normally get everything that's included here. So they're going to play in your event. They pay you whatever they're going to pay you. They get golf. They get access to practice facilities and buffets, get a player gift. They get into some of the contests on the golf courses. And most events will have a hole-in-one contest. Usually they'll have one big prize, like a $10,000 cash. And then that always comes with 3 bonus prizes. And the bonus prizes are lesser value, but at least they get something if they go to hole-in-one. They don't look around and go, I don't even get a bread basket here or a toaster. So they have some prizes. And that's okay. And we say to golfers, look, that's what's included. You're going to have a great day. We have a lot of fun stuff planned for you. But if you want to bet on yourself, you can upgrade this. And for $100, what you're going to do is you're going to get into some upgraded hole-in-one contests. And so in addition to $10,000 cash, if you make a hole-in-one on these bonus prize holes, which normally would be worth anywhere from $500 to $1,000 prize, you get a chance to go to Pebble. You win Pebble Beach, or 2 Super Bowl tickets, or 2 tickets to the Masters, which are very valuable prizes. So they're going to pay $100 and say, hey, so if I get a hole-in-one on this hole where the $500 gift card is, and I bought this golden ticket, I'm going to get 2 tickets to the Masters. Yes, and that's an insured event. We'll pay for the tickets, and you can plug in a couple other things there, like so you can have this as part of your, have a golden ticket and some super ticket elements in it. But 90% of the golfers in the events that I ran last year, and I worked with some other organizers, bought this ticket because they said, wow, I don't want to get a hole-in-one on this hole and get $500 when I could have got 2 tickets to the Masters. And what I like about it is it doesn't pressure them at all. Hey, it says if you don't want to get into it, don't worry about it. You still get the $10,000 cash prize hole-in-one. You get these other prizes. But if you get hole-in-one over here, wouldn't you rather get Super Bowl tickets? So it's a nice low-key way to make additional revenue. And golfers can buy the super ticket, golf ticket, anytime they want. Should be called the golden ticket. And then here's some other if you don't have hole-in-one contests, here's some of the hole-in-one contests that we did last year. And so you can always have interesting hole-in-one contests. So you don't have to use the Masters or, or Super Bowl. You can pick anything you want to make your event interesting. And here's actually a hole-in-one that we just paid. Gentleman made a hole-in-one for an $85,000 boat. So people will be coming back to that event because people understand that people do win the prizes. So before I get into some of the more contests, I just remind you that you want to have your website set up so that you can set it up with Perfect Golf Event, and that you can promote your online registration so people can register for their foursomes and put their sponsorships, and everything is there. And the events that had an online website, they increased their revenues by 22% because people not only would pay by credit card, but they'd also buy any other things while they're on the website. And that's when you get into some of the other transactions. So you can set it up so they can buy their individual player spots or for some of the title sponsorship, but they can also then buy other things like the golf surprise raffle. They can get into that. They can buy mulligans. They can buy raffle tickets. They can buy super tickets. They get into the ball drop. They can buy the golden ticket. They can do donations to your site. So a lot of things can be done online when you have a good website, and that way you collect the money up front and you'll raise more. And so you can see here that this event is set up so they're selling a super ticket for $100, mulligans for $25. They've got raffle going. So when people are buying their foursome, they can also put these into their shopping cart at the same time. It also makes it solid the day of your event. Again, it allows people to buy these things ahead of time. Now, this one's a newer one that we tested. And I'm sorry, I just got one question. It's a good question. Someone asked me, do you allow more than one winner on a hole-in-one contest? Absolutely, yes. If you have a hole-in-one contest, we'll pay up to 3 winners. So if it's a $10,000 hole-in-one contest and somebody makes it early in the day and then another person makes it, they would both get the $10,000. They don't have to share it. They both get $10,000, and actually would pay for 3 winners. But if there's 3 winners, then the FBI is going to want to talk to us because that would be really rare. But it does pay for multiple winners. Now, this is something that's fun, and I had a couple events added last year and are coming back this year. This is called the Team Challenge Shot Hole. And you can add this on your event, and it can be done during your event. What happens is each team picks one player on a par 3 hole. So they come up to the hole, and that person takes a shot. The shot could be for $1,000,000, it could be 100,000, 500,000. It depends on your budget, and we can give you quotes on that. If the person makes it, half the prize money goes to the team, so they all would benefit, but half the money goes to your charity. A lot of people will have somebody collect money at that. They'll either put it part of their super ticket, or they'll say, when you come up to that hole, it's going to be $20 or $50 for your team to get in. And then it's really a fun thing. It doesn't take any extra time, and it's just something everybody will talk about. In fact, I have a big event we're doing for Folds of Honor, and their lead on their website is, come to our event. Every team's going to get a shot for $250,000. So now you have something really interesting to talk to people about. Excuse me. All right, let's talk about some more contests. And again, you can't do all the contests that we have here. I'm just trying to give you ideas on how to make some additional money. And so we got a couple of minutes to go, so stay patient. But this one's called Move Up on a Par 5 hole. And in this one, you select a par 5 hole on the golf course, and the teams pay a fee to move up for the regular distance. So you have somebody at that hole with a good personality for your organization that said, hey guys, we're going to charge your team, $50 to come up, and then you can move up and you can take your drive from 150 yards instead of 490 or 500 yards on a par 5. That means you can get a chance to get an eagle on the hole and all that. So they pay to move up. Plus, you set it up so everybody gets a chance to have a hole-in-one on that new location. So if they move up to 150, we set up a hole-in-one contest for 150 yards. So you say to the team, not only do you get a chance to move up to do a better score on the par 5 hole, but also we have a new hole-in-one contest set up on that way. It's a great way to raise more money. It doesn't slow anything down. In fact, it speeds it up. And so just something to think about. It's called a move up on a par 5 hole. We also do a similar thing, what we call our bucket list hole-in-one guaranteed winner contest. And in this one, it's a perfect, we exclusive. We started it, and we think it's exclusive. We haven't seen anybody else doing it yet. But if the golfer makes a hole-in-one, they get to select their prize from 25 different experiences. So there's everything they can want: cooking tour of Italy, ski trips, fly fishing, whatever they want. They'll find something here on their bucket list. So hole-in-one, they get to pick from one of 25 prizes. Each has a value of about $10,000. But if nobody makes a hole-in-one, the golfer closest to the pin during the event wins a 7-night resort stay for 2, where they pick from over 3,000 locations. So someone's guaranteed to win a prize. If two golfers make a hole-in-one, they both win the prize. It includes custom signage, and again, it's a great sponsorship. Here, AT&T sponsored this one. So it's another hole-in-one contest to consider. And then you're going to have to make your decisions on what to implement into your event, and maybe you do some this year and add some next year. And again, for the late arrivals, I'll be glad to send you all these slides so you have them. When you're thinking about your events, and I teach a whole nother webinar just on formats, but the thing to be thinking about is also there's some different formats you can do for your events that help raise additional money. I won't go through all these. You can take a look at them, but a lot of our people are doing like 9 par 3s and 9 regulation holes. So it gives them 9 hole-in-one contests. This concept I really like. People are doing 18 holes in the morning on the regulation, and then they're having a 9-hole par 3 event in the afternoon. And golfers can play in both, play in one of each, and then they're having an awards reception afterwards. So you may want to think about some formats options to raise more money. And if you want to listen to my webinar on that, you can go to perfectgolfwebinars.com, and my recording on how to set up the formats is there. And again, this is what they do. They're more contests and things like that. Last couple things in that format. Oh, this to give you an idea. Here's an event that's doing that format, Folds of Honor. And Folds of Honor, it was a new event. They wanted to be different, so they did 18 par 3 holes. They had a goal of 100,000. It was a brand new event. And they didn't have a committee. They had a new committee. They didn't have any existing players or sponsors because it was a new event. So they had 18 par 3 holes. They did 18 hole-in-one contests. And the contests don't have to be for $10,000. You can have some for $1,000, $5,000 to keep your budget under control. They were done in 3.5 hours. They had a shootout for 18 players at the end, and in their first year they raised $106,000 net. So formats do raise more money. Last couple ideas. This one I had a lot of fun with last year. Again, it's nothing that we provide to you. This is just an idea for you. But we do a thing called golf course poker, and it's really fun. Doesn't all it costs you is some playing cards. But basically, what happens is, as a team, when the teams play to enter, so we charge them. We charge the teams $200 to each to get in, and we said, okay, every time one of your players hits the green on a par 3 hole, you get a playing card. We had volunteers out there with decks of cards. They pick a card, and as they went through the events, if 2 people on the team hit the green, they got 2 cards or whatever. And if you're only using, it really works well if you're having multiple par 3 holes. But if you only have 4 par 3 holes, we will give them 2 cards every time they hit the green. But basically what happens is they collect the cards. When they come in, the team with the best hand splits the pot with the charity. So it's really a great opportunity to raise additional fund. It doesn't take any more time, and we had really good feedback from people on it. A couple other things you consider adding. Some of my events, we do a 5-minute swing clinic, and the golfers pay $20, and one of the club pros works with them. You know, some people only play golf a couple times a year in these scrambles. So they come over, they pay $20. The golfer looks at their swing and says, let's fix this, fix this. Just focus on that when you're out there. It's a nice way to raise money. We've actually charged $50 to do it at some events because people just want a quick lesson before they go out, and we split the money with the pro. Nice way to make additional money before tee off. This one we had a lot of fun with. This was where we set a bunch of buckets out on the practice green, on practice fairway. So we cordoned off a section, and people would buy chipping shots. So they'd pay us $20 per shot or whatever it's going to be, or $10 per shot. And we had buckets out there, and they had prizes in them. So it could be a gift certificate for a very valuable bottle of wine, could be a gift basket, it could be a restaurant gift certificate. And they would try and chip into the buckets. And if they chipped into the bucket, they got the prize that was in that bucket. And then we had other prizes, would reload the buckets. And it was just a lot of fun. Just something to think about. Remember, you want the events to be fun. And so the more fun things people have, and they'll come back next year for you. So last thing about raising money is, and I always tell people this, it's okay to ask for donations. And so for my events, we'll set up what's called a fund to need, and we'll just set up a chart, and we don't pressure anybody. We just said, hey, look, we need some certain things. This is for a charter. This is for supporting the survivors of people who are killed in the line of duty, and say, hey, if you want to help this people pay for their insurance or their college fund or auto insurance or whatever it's going to be, just tell us, hey, just take off and just say, I'm going to give you $75. I'm just a donation. They come over, they pay for they bring it over to the table, they pay us $75, and they get a tax receipt. But sometimes you can make additional funds just by asking, especially if you do it in a creative way. And that's what this fund to need is. Last one to talk about is this new photo gallery feature that we're going to be launching on February 15th. And this is something people have asked us about. It's a way to have a photo gallery that you can set up on your website with us. You can upload your event photos. Golfers can visit, and they can download the photos nicely into a shopping cart. You can charge for the small fee for the photos if you want. So if they want their team photo, it could be $1 or whatever, or you can make it free because you can sell this as a sponsorship, and it also has a donation feature. So they can download 5 or 6 or 10 items, whatever they want, their whole team pictures or whatever off of it. It's an easy way for them to get their team pictures. And then they say, you know what, I'm going to donate 5, 10, 15 or whatever they want a donation. So it's a really nice thing to add to your website. And we'll have this available on February 15th. So you'll be able to upload all your photos for your event. People say to the people, go here, see all the event photos, download them. If you want to give us a donation, we really appreciate it. Another way to raise additional funds. Just make sure whatever you're going to do, you've set a lot of goals for each activity. You know, each activity you do, and saying, okay, we're doing a putting contest, or we're going to do golf surprise, or we're going to do a chipping contest. You know, have a goal and track it so you'll know what you need to make next year. put it all into your financial sheets. If you don't have my template for financial planning, just send a note to us and we'll send it to you. This lets you plug in everything you need. And then you also want our marketing calendar where you can list all the activities you're going to have to promote your event as well. Get started. Just decide on all your contests and activities. You can visit Perfect Golf Event to set up your website. You can click on the tournament shop. You'll see all the contests and activities. And if you want a copy of this presentation, just send me a note to Paul at Perfect Golf Event, or you can send it to support at Perfect Golf Event. So, I know we went quickly because you're all busy. If you want a copy of the presentation, just send me my notes and we've recorded it as well. Thank you very much for coming and have a very successful event.